Hey there, everyone. It is Denise Salcedo. Welcome back to the channel. I am very excited to introduce my guest for today because he is headed to the Alamodome on Saturday, July 9th to face off against Carlos Castro in the WBC Featherweight title eliminator. Please welcome Brandon, the Heartbreaker Figueroa. What's up, Brandon?
Thank you, Denise, for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to chat with you. Honestly, I feel like you've done so much and you're so young and you have this big fight coming up. I'm like so excited to kind of pick your brain and see what's going on.
Okay, awesome. I'm all here.
All right, well, let's do it. I want to kick things off by asking you, we're 4 days away from this fight with you and Castro. So I want to get into your mind a little bit and see where you're at mentally, 4 days heading into this.
Yeah, camp has been going great. Me and my family, uh, we've been here in San Antonio for almost 3 months. And yeah, I mean, we've been getting ready, preparing, and enjoying this camp so far.
What do the next couple of days look like for you? Like, what's your schedule for the week leading up to the fight?
Well, right now it's just, just dropping the weight, nothing too crazy, just relaxing and, just taking it easy. And then I feel like Wednesday I go to the hotel and I do all the boxing stuff, pictures, press conference, and then weigh-ins, which is my favorite part of the fight, and fight night.
Sweet, sweet. All right. And also, so I know that, fighters, they have like the different, it depends on the person. Some persons have, a little pre-match ritual, things that they like to do, or a headspace that they like to get into. For you, like heading into the big fights, especially one like this, do you kind of have any sort of like pre-match ritual or anything that you like to make sure you do ahead of the fight?
No, I feel like just my mom coming to give me the blessing, the cross, and just seeing my family before I get in the ring is something that I've always done, and I feel like that's what helps me, I guess, kind of just give me that security of kind of like a ritual. It feels great just to be blessed by my mom and my team, and it's more of a family kind of atmosphere, and it just feels awesome.
And that's really nice to have because I feel when you have your family, it's just like not only is it that support, but there's kind of a little bit of a comfort there to know that, your mom and, just your family in general is out there watching and supporting you. So for you, like, how does it feel to know that your family's out there? How much of your family comes out to the shows and do they come out to all of them?
I feel like the ones that come out mostly are here in Texas. I haven't fought here in Texas for over a couple of years, so this is gonna be the first in I want to say 3 or 4 years. I don't really know how long it's been, but I know I'm gonna have a lot of support and a lot of family and friends coming from the valley because I live like 3 hours and a half from San Antonio South, south of San Antonio. So yeah, I mean it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome, and I just can't wait to be in the Alamodome and hear my family, friends, and basically my home crowd cheer for me.
Are they used to it, your friends and family, like seeing you go out there and, do these boxing matches? And, obviously it's been a while, but are they used to it by now?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've been doing this since I want to say 5, 6 years old. So yeah, I mean, they've been traveling all over just to watch me and my older brother fight, and yeah, it feels amazing to get the support that they give me.
That's so cool. So I want to kind of go into talking about your camp and some of the training that you did heading into this fight because you're moving up your into a higher weight class. You're now making your debut at 126 pounds. So I do want to ask you, how did your training change in terms of not only what you were doing in your camp, but also maybe your diet, etc. To move up to the 126.
I mean, we basically just kept it the same. Maybe added a little bit more strength into my strength and conditioning, more weight, and yeah. I mean, I've been feeling great. I've been feeling strong, and I just can't wait to put it all together Saturday night. But yeah, I mean, my diet has been great, and I mean, you still have to cut those last little pounds and all that. But I mean, yeah. I mean, weight's been good. My conditioning's been good. Everything I feel strong, and even though I'm so light, I feel great.
And that's one of the things too that you previously mentioned was that now that you're moving into 126, that you feel like you're going to be stronger, that you're going to be more explosive at 126. Do you feel that when you were back at 122, do you feel that that was maybe affecting your power a little bit?
Definitely, definitely it does affect. I know it's 4 pounds, but trust me, like those last 2 pounds to get to 122 were really, pushing the limit, especially with me. And I mean, it just feels great just to have a little bit more room to be more relaxed physically and mentally. I don't have to really kill myself to make 122 anymore. And not that I would struggle, but my body is growing, and I mean, I'm getting older, so I do feel like the muscle mass coming on more than before. And yeah, my body's maturing, so now giving it that those extra 4 pounds is really helpful. And just knowing that I don't have to kill myself to make 122 feels great. It feels awesome. So right now, like I said, we're just taking it easy, and we're just dropping the last couple of pounds, and it's been great.
It's like this small room of leeway where you seem a lot happier. Obviously,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
tends to happen, right? For boxers and fighters across when they move up a little bit up in weight class, you tend to have just a little bit more of this like leeway into that. So I think that's really great too. So I do want to ask you though, and get a little bit more technical here. How have you found sort of finding that balance between having that added weight but also still maintaining the cardio that you had when you were back at 122? Because you mentioned the 4 pounds, not seeming like a huge difference, but it is a difference in terms of like, again, your power, your strength, your cardio, and maintaining that body weight.
No, yes, of course. I mean, a lot of people don't understand that. It's all about hydration, and sometimes when you get to that low of a weight and you sacrifice a lot, and you sacrifice, I guess, nutrients and vitamins and stuff that you didn't really eat, because you had to cut out carbs, you had to cut out protein, because all that it does affect your body. Even if you grab like a little ounce of nuts, almonds, that can affect your weight. I mean, just anything. I mean, at the end, I would hardly even drink water, because even my water was limited. So I would wake up with a dry mouth. I mean, it was just a crazy experience just to make 122. But now, as a 126 pounder, I mean, it just feels great. I mean, I feel strong. My condition is still there. I mean, basically everything from 122, but it's just a little bit more healthier. I can say just healthier all around, and just more balanced, and all around just strong. I just feel strong.
That's good. That's definitely good. And I feel like, obviously how you feel heading into the fight is going to be, it could be a game changer for you and
Hmm.
whatnot. And, the results, the end results. So I do want to ask you because you are coming off of a loss against Stephen Fulton Jr. in your last fight. So I do want to ask you two questions. The first one being, given that it was, due to a majority decision, you came very, very close to, almost winning that match. I do want to ask you, you didn't go for the rematch right away. What made you decide not to go for the rematch right away and to kind of, wait and continue on the path that you had already decided on prior to the outcome of this match, which was to move up in weight class?
Yeah, that was kind of like a difficult thing, because I had already planned on moving up to 126 way before the every fight. And when that fight got presented to me, obviously we took that opportunity, and then to unify. I mean, obviously, who wouldn't want to unify? So yeah, we decided to go with Stephen Fulton, and then after that, I mean, it was kind of like they put me in a position where it was like, okay, do I have to kill myself again to make 122 for the rematch? But I talked to my team, and it wasn't that I didn't want the rematch. I wanted the rematch. It was just the fact that I guess it takes both parties, and he wanted to go a different route, and I wanted to go a different route. So I know that eventually in the future we will probably face each other at the 126-pound division if he moves up. So it just depends, I guess, on him coming to the 126-pound. And I mean, I'm not scared of no one. I've never been scared of anyone, especially him. And I don't even, uh, you know, really, really, really think that the rematch, or whatever the case is something that it's not gonna get done. It's gonna get done, and I know in the future it's gonna be probably even bigger at the 126 pounds because we both have to prove, who's the clear winner. And I know he thinks he's win, and I know I think I won. So it's just, I guess, we're both gonna have to see the rematch maybe on 126.
How did you feel about that, especially knowing how close you came? That this wasn't like, you weren't knocked out or anything like that. So I'm sure you weren't expecting this loss to go the way that it did. And not only that, do you, having experienced this first loss, how did that, affect your, your headspace? How did that challenge you mentally? And how do you bounce back from that?
Yeah, it was my first loss, and I mean, I'm the type to that I don't like to lose, and I know I prepared myself great for that fight. I went out there, gave it my all, and at the end of the day, I didn't come out with the win. So we got to go back to the drawing board. That's what the beauty about boxing is, that you always go back to square one, no matter what, win, lose, draw. You always have to start from the beginning, start from the training camp, and you just have to kind of gather all the information, all the experience, and kind of process it, and just get back out there and do what you love to do, which is, for me, is boxing. So I just took 2 weeks off, and I went back to the gym and started working on the game plan, started working on how to better myself. And I knew I was going to feel a lot better at 126. So yeah, that's the way we did it, and that's the route we went. And I mean, I feel great, and I've honestly, I look back now, and I'm like, I, I appreciate the loss. I appreciate the loss because I learned a lot, and it made me hungrier, and it made me wanna come back with vengeance, and really, really, really go out there and prove to everyone that, especially at the 126-pound division, that I belong there. I belong among the greats.
And that was one of the things that I was, thinking about just asking you right now is, having this loss, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, kind of, do you feel like it changed you? Like it changed you as a fighter now knowing what this loss feels like? And obviously when people had their decisions on who they thought actually won the fight. But for you yourself, even though I know you felt that you won this fight, you come off of it, out of every fight, you learn something different, right? So for yourself, I guess my first question is, do you feel differently as a fighter? And then secondly, after that, do you feel like you learned something from that last match?
Yes, of course. Boxing is always a learning experience. You can ask anyone, no matter how many years you have in the sport. Even if I was 35 years old, I feel like you're still learning every day. That's the beauty about boxing, is that you're always learning, always, no matter if you started from when you were 2 years old, or whatever the case is. You're always learning. Boxing is just such a, I guess, it's just so vast, and there's just so much you can learn, and so much you can do, so many styles that you can implement, and just just so much information. But yes, I did feel like it taught me a lot, and I did learn, and I grew, and it's definitely made me a better fighter.
Exactly, exactly. And I feel like you can kind of sense that, like even just like listening to you talk, I can kind of sense that from you. So let's talk about July 9th. Let's talk about your match with Carlos Castro. Obviously, it's for the, part of the WBC featherweight title eliminator. So I do want to ask you, because with a victory, you can go ahead and move on to face the winner of the main event of the night. So I do want to ask you, what are your predictions for Vargas and Magsayo? What are your predictions for that? And who do you have winning? And on top of that, do you have any sort of preference?
No, I mean, may the best man win, and I feel like it's gonna be a great fight. It just depends who's a smarter fighter, and um, I mean, I don't know. It's gonna be a pretty crazy, kind of like you know uh kind of like Juan Manuel Marquez and Manny Pacquiao. I don't really want to say that because they both fighters have different styles than Marquez and Pacquiao, but they both have the same trainers, and it's gonna be a great fight. And I feel like it just depends, like I said, who's smarter and who's a little bit more patient. But yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to face the winner, and get an opportunity at the belt so early on in the 26-pound division.
Yeah, what would it mean to you to become champion once again, and this time in a different, in a different division?
Oh man, it would mean everything to me. It would be epic, legendary. I don't know what else to say. I would definitely put my mark in boxing if I were to do that.
That's incredible. Now, if you do win tonight, excuse me, if you do win on July 9th, and how soon do you want to have that next match? What is your time frame?
Just I don't know. I mean, I guess by the end of the year, the way they're scheduling fights, it would probably be made by the end of the year. Definitely.
And I know we're talking about sort of, the amount of fights that you have. I know prior to COVID, you were doing like 3, 4 fights a year, sometimes even more. And, since COVID, obviously everything changed across the world and all of that. But even now, you're only having like, I think right now it's like what? Last year you had two, if I'm right. And then this year, this is going to be your first. And so it's like, do you feel that has impacted you going from being so active to only having a certain amount of fights? And then from here, do you think that you're going to be a little bit more active in the coming years?
I mean, it just depends. It just depends how they schedule fights. I mean, I'm always in the gym. I'm always getting ready. Prior to this fight, I've been training. I want to say since February, just getting ready here and there. But yeah, I've been waiting for a fight to be called upon me, and I got the fight, and it got pushed back. Actually, I was supposed to fight June 1st, or actually May, and then it got pushed back to June, and now it got pushed back to July 9th. So it's not really my say. So I can say, oh, I want to fight in the next 3 months, but at the end of the day, it just depends on boxing is more business on the TV, PBC. It's a bunch of I guess stuff that it doesn't really concern me. So yeah, I mean, my job is just to get ready and uh, just wait for the call and yeah, fight.
Awesome. Awesome. So now I do want to ask you, what do you think fans can expect from your match against Castro? What do you think the fans can look forward to?
Man, it's gonna be a great fight. I know Castro's gonna come to fight. He's been preparing, and knowing that I'm not an easy opponent or a pushover, he's gonna make him work harder, just as he's gonna make me work harder too. And I've been working hard, so excuse me. It's gonna be a great fight, and I just can't wait to go out there and showcase my skills and everything that I've learned. And yeah, just I guess to put the 126-pound division in notice.
Hell yeah. All right. So my last question for you is I know, you're still so relatively young. You're still, making a name for yourself and continuing on from there. You've held gold. You're planning on holding more gold. But I do want to ask you, what are your short-term and long-term goals?
Short term, I mean, I don't really. I mean, I have businesses that are, coming soon. I have, I'm invested in real estate. Uh, so yeah, right now that's my project is to build my gym back home and maybe build some apartments. Just invest my money wisely and make smart business moves and you know uh like I said, just be smart with my money. And that's the main goal right now. Long term, I mean, I don't really know. It's just, I guess, keep keep fighting and keep training and be a great businessman.
That's incredible. That's awesome. I love it because not only do you have like, the boxing side of things, but you also have, something outside of boxing that you can invest your money and be smart about your money. I think that was the key word in what you said. So, Brandon, before we wrap up, I just want to say thank you so much for doing this interview with me here today. Before we go, please let the people know where they can follow your journey, support you, etc.
Yes, of course. You can follow me on Instagram, Brandon Figueroa 101. On Twitter, Bannerly 2525. And yeah, I'm just excited. Thank you for this opportunity. And thank you everyone for tuning in and supporting me. And yeah, I'm just so happy and blessed, to fight in San Antonio, basically my second home. And hopefully you guys enjoy the show.
Awesome. Awesome. Brandon, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. To everybody, I'm going to go ahead and post all of the links in the description box below. And please do not miss Brandon the Heartbreaker Figueroa take on Carlos Castro in the WBC Featherweight title Eliminator this Saturday on July 9th, live on Showtime. See you guys next time. Bye, everyone.